I think we've done enough. I think we've held off way too much. 2 weeks is more than enough. I think people need to see the episodes. Let's do this, man.
All right, hit the intro. Hey everyone, welcome to the Vibe Collect podcast. My name is Arun. I'm here with Austin. All right, so this is a movie review podcast. Basically, we review Malayalam movies mostly, sometimes web shows, sometimes any language movies. We don't really have a, what do you say, compulsion to review just Malayalam. We'll be reviewing anything. നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല. ഉണ്ടോ? അതെ. So, first a little bit of housekeeping. ലൈക്ക് ഷെയർ ആൻഡ് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ഇത് എല്ലാ എപ്പിസോഡും പറയേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ലല്ലോ അല്ലേ ഓക്കെ എല്ലാ എപ്പിസോഡും പറയേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്ന് ലൈക്ക് ഷെയർ ആൻഡ് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് കമൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് our number one fan Austin.
Gigi honey.
Did you say Gigi honey like Gigi Hadid? അത് ജിനി
Oh
ഹണിയാണ്.
shit.
Okay. So okay,
Gigi
take
honey.
two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take two.
Okay, I'll keep this in anyway.
Okay.
We do this for the fans. Comment here just like our number one fan Austin.
Genie honey.
First try. Now, make sure to write in. We love it when you write in. We love it because ഇതുവരെ ആരും എഴുതിയിട്ടില്ല. ചിലപ്പോൾ എഴുതി തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടില്ലായിരിക്കും, അറിയില്ല. But please do write in. It's vibecollectivepodcast@gmail.com. That's vibecollectivepodcast@gmail.com. Podcastന്റെ പേര് @gmail.com.
We will.
Now,
We welcome hate
moving
mails
on.
as well. By the way,
The
hate mails
Hitler.
also. We're okay with hate mails as well. So if you want to do that,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any mail is fine as long as it's mail. MAIL.
oh,
No homo. So, I gotta make it clear, I want dick pics in our email. Like, if if that floats your boat, hey man, shout out
അതിന്
to you.
അതിന്
But
വേറെ അതിന് വേറെ outlets ഉണ്ട്. ഇത് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവും.
അതെ അതെ അതിന് എന്റെ പേഴ്സണൽ ഇമെയിൽ ഞാൻ കമന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നവർക്ക്
And
അയക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും.
IG, you can slide into my DMs.
Big question, where were we, right? So, Austin, go
അത്
ahead.
നിങ്ങളെ ബോധിപ്പിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. Actually, yeah.
അല്ല, എന്തായാലും ആകെ 40 പേരെ കാണുന്നുള്ളൂ.
100.
ഇപ്പൊ എന്തായാലും 100 അല്ല, അത് പണ്ട് നമ്മൾ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞ് 40 പേരെ തിരിച്ചു വന്നുള്ളൂ.
പതുക്കെ
അതില്
വരും.
3 ഞാനാ.
നമ്മളെ കാണാൻ എന്നും ജനത്തിരക്ക് തന്നെയാണ്.
So let's talk about the elephant in the bedroom, right? Where were we? Every week we promise you that അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച ഉണ്ടാവും, ചൊവ്വാഴ്ച ഉണ്ടാവും, ചൊവ്വാഴ്ച വരാത്തപ്പോൾ പറയും വ്യാഴാഴ്ച ഉണ്ടാവും, വ്യാഴാഴ്ച വരാത്തപ്പോൾ പറയും ഉടനെ ഉണ്ടാവും, ആ ആഴ്ചയിലേ കാണില്ല, ഇൻകൺസിസ്റ്റന്റ് ആണ്, ഒരുമാതിരി കരിക്കിന്റെ വീഡിയോസ് ഇറങ്ങുന്ന പോലെ എന്ന് വരുമെന്നും ആർക്കും അറിയില്ല. അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് കരിക്ക് വാസ് ഗുഡ് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് അറ്റ് സം പോയിന്റ്. ലൈക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ എന്ത് അഹങ്കാരത്തിന്റെ പേരിലാണ് ഇമാതിരി തന്തയില്ലമ കാണിക്കുന്നത്, റൈറ്റ്? Austin has the explanation for that.
So the main reason why is because we were in different time zones, and obviously we couldn't connect. We wouldn't get the right timing done. We would say 1 hour later, 2 hour later. One of us would sleep off. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ആയപ്പോ we got a little cocky, by the way. We thought, what is it? We have 100 views and 14 subscribers who will never, put us down. And എപ്പോ ഇറക്കിയാലും നിങ്ങൾ കാണും എന്നുള്ളൊരു ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ആയിരുന്നു. And our last episode, we got the numbers. It hurt us. We were 60 people down, but 40 people still came. But to the 60 people we lost, we are sorry.
Yeah, because we felt like Kunjaku Boban in 97, like ഇറങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ തന്നെ ആദ്യം ഹിറ്റ്, like, we felt like we couldn't miss. നമ്മൾ എന്തിറക്കിയപ്പോഴും, like, people are loving it. Tens and tens of views, right? But we thought we could do no wrong. And നമ്മൾ ഒരു ബ്രേക്ക് എടുത്തിട്ട് മാർക്ക് ഇറക്കിയപ്പം നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കി മേ ബി വി ക്യാൻ ഡു റോങ്. ബിക്കോസ് കാര്യം ഞങ്ങളെ കണ്ട ഓക്കെ സുന്ദരന്മാരാണ്, ദൈവതുല്യരായിട്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്, ബട്ട് ഞങ്ങളും ഹ്യൂമൻസ് ആണ്, ഞങ്ങൾക്കും തെറ്റ് പറ്റാറുണ്ട്. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് പറ്റിയൊരു തെറ്റാണ്. ഞങ്ങൾ വിചാരിച്ചു ഞങ്ങൾ എവിടെ പോയാലും നിങ്ങൾ അവിടെ കാണുമെന്ന്, ഗാദാ ജാം പോലെ. പക്ഷേ നിങ്ങളില്ലായിരുന്നു. ഒരു ഏകദേശം 60 പേര്. ആ 60 പേര് മുമ്പ് കണ്ടവരുമായിട്ട് ഞാൻ നോട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാം ഞാൻ പിന്നെ പിടിച്ചോളാം. പക്ഷേ 60 പേര് വന്നില്ല 5ാമത്തെ വീഡിയോ കാണാൻ. And I think that is because of us, right? And we let you people down. So അതുകൊണ്ട് I think we talked about it, and we came to the conclusion that we should have a plan ഇങ്ങനെ സംഭവിക്കാതിരിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി, right? We decided like we needed a plan to make sure we don't let you guys down again, right? അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ തീരുമാനിച്ചു ഇനി അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച തൊട്ട് നമ്മൾ റെക്കോർഡേ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. ഇറക്കിയാലല്ലേ നിരാശപ്പെടുത്താൻ പറ്റൂ. So this will be
No
our last episode. Yeah, this will be our last episode of the Vibe Collective podcast. It's ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കും ഇതൊരു ഹാഷ് ഡിസിഷൻ അല്ലേ, ഇതൊരു റാഷ് ഡിസിഷൻ അല്ലേ? ആവാം, മേ ബി കാലമായിരിക്കും നമ്മളെടുത്തത് പറയുകയാണോ അല്ലയോ എന്ന്, റൈറ്റ്? ഹൈൻസൈറ്റ് ഇസ് 2020. So thanks for watching ഇത്രയധികം episodes with us. നമുക്കറിയാം, how many episodes did we put out?
Right.
അത്രയല്ല.
പിന്നെ what you
Yeah,
thought?
but
We have
uh,
Netflix series.
yeah, but ഞങ്ങൾ പണ്ട് തൊട്ടേ പറയുന്ന കാര്യമാണ് ലെസ് ഇസ് മോർ.
Yeah.
അപ്പോൾ
More.
we hope ഞങ്ങളുടെ quantity was എന്താ? No, wait,
It's
okay.
more, it's more the quality than the quantity.
Yeah, exactly. അത് തന്നെ. Okay.
That's what brings our 100 viewers.
വെറുതെ ഒന്നും അല്ല.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the last episode of the Vibe Collective podcast. All right. And today we will be reviewing Love Under Construction. So now, as we said, usually movies on review, and I thought for a change, let's review a web series. And I see that not much people are talking about it. Maybe for good reason. We'll find out. And we'll review the whole season today. That's the plan. Also, we will be reviewing a very what do you want to say, TikTok video, Instagram reel kind of review for Officer on Duty, right? And both these reviews will be completely full of spoilers. So if you haven't seen these things, don't show up or don't continue watching. You can skip to the end where the real good shit happens in article and whatever. Like we only care about the intro and the outro.
The credits. You can skip to that.
Credits also. Yeah, skip directly. Thank you. View it. Anyway, moving on. Let's review Officer on Duty first. All right.
Okay.
So, Austin, just tell me quick thoughts. Officer on Duty. What did you think about it?
So, Officer on Duty, a very different kind of movie. It highlights the current plight of the youth that is in India. Very bold move for Kunjaku Boban to have acted in EU kind of movie. But is it a movie that that I loved watching? No, I wouldn't.
Hmm.
It's not. I've seen much better movies that there could have. There are much better messages in different movies that could have been sent out. Here it showed like everyone was to blame. Okay, in the whole movie, towards the end, that's what it showed. Priyamani was at fault at one point. Jagdish was at fault at one point. So it's not, you can't assign blame on anyone for anything. These are things that happen randomly, and
Yeah.
that kind of a message that they left, like എല്ലാ കാര്യത്തിലും ഇടപെടേണ്ട തലയിടേണ്ട is what I felt, but maybe that's not a nice way to handle anything. Do
Mm.
it, but do it in a way such that you make sure that nothing comes back to you or nothing affects you. Because if everything you turn a blind eye towards, what generation are you going to end up where your children lives? It's going to be a place where
Yeah.
it's not going to be harmonious for tolerable for anyone. No, take a stand, make sure that,
Yeah.
but you make sure to what extent you do it. That's the only part that I didn't like about the whole movie, was the message that they were trying to deliver. And obviously a lot of parts where I didn't really like the way the movie was shot.
Mm.
But uh,
Did
the
you
new
notice the
cast,
camera was a bit extra shaky?
too extra shaky. Yeah,
Right? Like I know
yeah,
sometimes we do the handheld thing to give a little bit
yeah.
more natural feel, but this one I
That's
felt
where
like
it
was
was very,
swaying a bit too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
swaying a bit too much. And
Yeah.
filmography also, like you said, then yeah, that was I
The
was going to come to that.
yeah,
The
the cinematography.
filmography was. Cinematography, sorry. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cinematography was not that great. That's what I was gonna say, yeah,
Okay.
next. I didn't like it. They could have been much better. But then again, this is not a detailed bit. So
Yeah.
in general, the movie was not a great movie, but you can watch.
Yeah.
And for
Okay.
Kunjaka Boban, Kunjaka Boban has done a good job. That's the
Okay.
only good in this whole movie. That's mine, and I think I would give it a rating because we generally give ratings for movies. I would give it a 2.5 out of 5. Yeah.
Okay. 2.5.
You?
All
What do
right.
you think?
So
Yeah.
okay. So yeah. So I'm just gonna go like what I liked and what I didn't like. So what I liked was I actually liked the cinematography, even though I didn't like the some of the camera work. But yeah, I like the cinematography. I like the BGM. I thought the villains were good. I thought Kunjakabam was good. I thought the runtime was correct. I also liked the villain's death in the movie. I thought that was kind of unexpectedly and nicely handled, because when they lived again for the second time, I'm like, oh my god, are we gonna have another fight? Like, please don't drag me through this. Like, I'm done with this movie by that point, right? So and then they were like, oh, we just killed them off camera. Perfect, right?
Mm.
What I didn't like, I didn't like there was some song in the movie. I'm like,
Uh,
the song took me out. Okay, story was been there, done that, where the rape and the revenge, and I just feel like കുറച്ച് played out ആ ഒരു theme, like, well, let's, like, the drugs and I don't know, it wasn't badly done. It was just that and the like, if you just keep what was what's an example I can give you, like, okay, like something like a naringa vellam, like like even the best naringa vellam has a peak where you might have probably already drank the best naringa vellam, right? Like,
mm.
but yeah, lemonade is still good, but you're like, kind of done that, right? I don't even know if that makes sense, but my point is,
Yeah.
it's kind of played. Yeah, so the I had high expectations for the movie because the writer is also the writer for Nayata and what do you call what was the other movie? Nayata and oh, I'm blanking. He directed Elevira Punjara. I know Irata. He was the writer for Irata also. So
Okay.
I had expectations for like whatever he's been with has been really great. So I thought this is his weakest work, which is
Mm.
still like which is still good compared to the rest of the people who are out there. It's just that my expectations were a little more higher, and it's a 3 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh,
that is. Any final thoughts? No, we good?
no. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good.
Okay. So that is our officer on duty review. Thanks for watching. And now we move on to the next. Now, let's move on to the review for Love Under Construction. It's a new web series on Hotstar. We noticed not much people are talking about it, so we decided, why not? Because this platform is mainly to highlight movies that we like or we want to see, and we figured we liked people in it. We thought it looked funny, and then we thought we'd check it out. And here are our thoughts. So now let's start with the good. That's how we do it here. We start with the good, the bad, then the review. All spoilers, be aware. The good. I'm going to kick it off to Austin. Go ahead.
So it's a very it's not a generic web series. It's the way they've taken the whole thing and how they've ended the whole the thing is portraying new kind of love, the new age of love, and how people are. It shows all of that, and it shows how things are very fresh and everything. But towards the end of it, they show that's not how the reality of things are. When you kind of try to understand a person, and when you try to live with the person, is when you see the actual problems. It's done before, like there are variations of it, but a modern version of it I don't think existed till a while ago. And other than it being very cliche, here they really highlighted the actual problems that can arise from these kind of relationships. And there's nothing different in any sense. It's age old. It's just old പുതിയ പഴയ wine in new kupi. But the twist that they brought at the end of it, that's what I liked, where Aju Varghese in the relation, the whole movie, the whole series is for Aju Varghese. And but in between, everything was done by NJ. Acting very good. I liked Neeraj Madhav. There's a whole vibe to it that that gang that they are. Neeraj Madhav and what do you say, Aju Varghese, and yeah, they had that give and take in the whole thing where where he's acting as a elder brother, and Aju Varghese, hats off, man. For the past few projects that he's been working on, there's a lot of depth in that man's acting. Like you see him scaling in different levels, and to see that is very nice of Aju Varghese, and he's able to handle all roles. He's been showing that now. Any role you give him, serious roles, even if it's difficult, he's been able to handle that, and that's something very nice to see. And they've used fresh faces in this in general. I mean, the actresses, the new faces. So just another thing, how Aju Varghese, who ended up having, who started off the whole the bit where he had a very old school thought and everything. How he understood the need of that his need was to evolve himself and be more acceptive and more understanding of what the current age of people are, and that transition, and through that episode, through these set of episodes, how he grew, and it's in a short period of time. So it showed that's the only amount of enough time that you need to actually open up yourself, open your thoughts, and then be acceptive of other things around you, and that helped him grow as a person. And that's something I really like. That's the best message I like from this thing. uh, so in general, the and in terms of filmography, I mean, sorry, cinematography. So in general, cinematography, and what do you say, how they've chosen the shots they've taken, the sets that they done, the production in general, they are all that are very normal. There is nothing huge for me to say and me to point out and say, but they were all done well for a web series. They have done their justice. Maybe they didn't have much production budget, and hence that's why they stuck to what they did it. But with what they were allocated, they did a fine job. There's nothing heavy that I want to speak about in terms of good. And you, what were the goods that you saw from this?
Okay, so I like the so for a web series. This is just like my own personal thing. One of the things I look forward to in a web series, like regardless of the language, is what the intro looks like. Because I'm a huge fan of intros. So this one I liked. I mean, you can look at this intro and say it's nothing special, but I thought it was like a very nice intro where I didn't want to skip the intro because some intros are just ass. So that's there. Episode length and pacing. I didn't think there was any filler or waste. I thought it was paced right, and when I got tired of it, it was over. Like it wasn't overstaying its welcome. It had like a very chill, nice vibes, and I like the cinematography also. Like you said, it had like a very you were never really stressed or you were never really bored. Like it sounds kind of insulting when I say it, but it's not. It was just like a flat line, right? That's how the whole show was. And the thing is, sometimes you just want to watch a flat line show, right? Where I want a plateau kind of show. I don't want peaks and valleys. I got other shows that serve that need, but I just want something to just chill and watch, not think much about, and maybe forget about it, which the show was. Now, good cast, nice music. I liked Aju Varghese. You already touched on. Aju Varghese was a menace. Starting like to that scene in the government office where he look like he's waiting, and then he looks ആരുടെയോ അപേക്ഷപത്രമോ എന്തോ like നോക്കട്ടെ എടുത്ത് നോക്കിയിട്ട് ഇത് നടക്കില്ല. Like he just like shit on him. Or there's another scene in the same office where he just wastes that Amumma's like 10 seconds. എനിക്കറിയില്ല. And then he just gave it back. So he was nice, but to that I thought he was kind of like an extension of that other web series he was in, Psycho Balandre എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്, with Perillur Premium League, if I'm pronouncing it wrong.
I have not
Yeah,
seen it.
oh, you haven't seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should check that out. So I think you like it more
Okay.
because this his character in this kind of, I wouldn't say watered down, but like in that whole menace thing where in that one he's like a psycho. So I'm not gonna spoil much. I'm gonna leave that point. So I like Aju Varghese in this. He was very good. You know that movie? Mohanlal's പണ്ടത്തെ ഒരു movie called വരവേൽപ്പ്, where he comes back from
Mm.
Gulf. No, maybe you know
Huh,
by the name,
huh.
but you've seen.
Mm. I know, I
He
understand.
starts
Yeah, yeah.
the
Bus
bus
company.
company.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm,
and then his whole life just like destroys,
mm,
right?
mm, mm, mm,
So this movie had Korcha vibes, where he comes back. I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but he comes back Gulfi in the Veedabani, and then
mm,
he Veedabani is the bus in this, and then
mm,
his family is no support. Like they
mm,
all trying to like idinathu they, because this movie wants to keep a chill vibe. It never went hardcore into the fact that the amma and the achan were basically just juicing him,
mm.
right? Like they had no consideration for like his well-being, right? It was
His dad did. If you realize that several instances he brought it up and said, "See, I know
he,
you don't have a job and stuff, so you know
mm,
what, we can put this on
maybe
a hold." His dad was supportive. He even
it
got
was
the
the
loan.
mom.
Like, yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
it was the
mom.
mom
Yeah,
going marble tiles, and like nothing was
yeah,
enough. Like let's
yeah.
put a swan on the door. Like I'm like what?
The,
Yeah.
the,
So
the
that
estimate was it went up to what, 8 lakhs plus they came on top of what was agreed prior,
yeah,
and that
and the
was only
motherfucker lost
because
his
of the
job.
mom. Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean,
then
I believe mom didn't know about it before this, but the minute she got to know, she could have just kept all that aside. Yeah, but he did
no,
all
also
of this. They
yeah,
happened.
after the mom scene, I'll go later about that in the bad.
Mm,
Another
mm,
thing is I liked how by the end they said, oh, it's actually Ajuvargis in the story, Anna. It's like Papa in the story, Anna. The thing is, when that scene was happening, I actually put it. It was in my cons. Why the fuck does it feel like this is Ajuvargi's story? And then they're like, oh, this is actually Ajuvargi's story. So I moved into the pro. I'm like, okay, I like that how you did it. Another thing, I don't know if it's a pro or not. I just wrote it down. I said Aju Varghese looked like Air India mascot at the wedding. So I don't know what that. Okay, with the topi, he looked like the Air India guy with the Amisha. And also, I like the how again you touched on this already. The cousin bond felt real, where I felt like honestly, I felt Aju Varghese and Neeraj Madhav's relationship felt more real than Neeraj Madhav and his girlfriends.
yeah,
Yeah, right? Like that scene where Aju Varghese മറ്റേ
but when
അവന്റെ
there's
first night ന്
more
പോകുമ്പോ
real to it. Yeah,
yeah ആ first night പോയിട്ട് അവൻ തിരിച്ചു വന്ന് കെട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കില്ലേ, and I'm like
yeah.
why I feel like this is real and then that one's like some Tinder bullshit. Okay, so that's all the pros for me. What are the cons for you?
So the cons for me basically would be they didn't have to make this a series. This could have so much as well have been a movie, uh, a simple small short movie that they could have sent out, even if it was an OTT release. Yeah. The splitting and how they, because of that, I felt there was a, did I want to watch it in one stretch? No. I would definitely. I was see. It's not. Nothing was boring. Like Arun previously said, it flatlined, but that flatline at sometimes did have its dip here and there. So, and I was
Hmm.
not pretty much a fan of that. So the only reason I wanted to continue watching that is because I heard good things about it. So with that in my mind, I'm like, let me finish watching. And yes, rightfully, it was okay. But this was one of the flaws that I felt in this. Second, eh, this is probably this is a personal opinion. Madhav didn't have to be the hero of this. They could have might as well kept anyone
Oh
else.
shit,
And it
shots
would have
fired.
been, yeah, I mean, this is how I felt. Like, I didn't feel like I cared enough that Neeraj Madhav was going through this.
Okay.
I, Yeah, I'm being honest. Like, I have an image about what Neeraj Madhav is, and it's probably because he's put out this persona of himself currently, of
Mm.
lately.
Mm.
For me
Mhm.
to see him being sad or being going through a particular emotion, I'm like, ugh, what? Why are you doing this? It's because, yeah, he might be acting, he's doing that, but maybe that's the impact that he's given me in my head. So probably if anyone
Mm.
else did this, probably it might have resonated a bit more with me. uh, Resonate meaning for me to feel like, okay, this is something I am okay with. I mean, something that made me watch it. But
Mm.
everyone else in the movie, I mean, it's not that his acting was also bad, by the way. No, very good. He's done his job in the series. So that was one of my bads. My third bad would be that, uh, there are a lot of things that that could have more in the story, in the script writing, that they could have made it a little more better, more convincing, more easier for us to believe that the struggle and the plight of this guy. And it showed, what do you say, so many things that he could have done better with. You can see as a person who's watching this, as an audience, why don't you do this അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ your life is going to be much better. You don't have to do what you're currently doing, go through the suffering, and make us think, oh, this suffering that you're going through is very good. No, it was very stupid, as a stupid person doing stupid things. And it needn't be, I didn't feel like to sympathize with him. So
Hmm.
I think that's the flaw in your script writing. If the script writing was a little better, I would have probably been more sympathetic with the protagonist. So I think these are my bads. Nothing more to say, because, like I said, it's a once watch, and since it's on OTT and it doesn't bother you, you can just watch it probably on a flight, watch it and finish it. Or you have a day, you're traveling, you have 5 6 hours. It's a 30 minute episode
Yeah.
each, so you can probably just run through it. Also, you'll never miss much. I think, yeah, these are my bets. And what about you? What did you feel that Endesta Vandu?
Okay. So for me, this is my constant complaint for every single review I think we've done, because it's true, at least for me. In this case, it's even more egregious, because my first comment is songs in a web series is crazy. Like, why are we doing this? Like, we have the skip button. Like, oh my god. Okay, so then emotional scenes. Like, they tried a couple of emotional scenes, like in a Veshamam Verithan, like the mom and the contractor getting fake caught, and none of that hit. I thought, like, at no point did I feel bad for anyone in the movie, right? And it's because, again, like I said, it's a plateau kind of show where I'm just digesting, very, like, my investment is not that great. And it's just what it is. Like, you don't have to force that emotion, like the contractor പിടിക്കില്ലേ, where
Yeah,
എന്താ പറയാ, it's actually the mason that's fucking him over.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then there's this shot in that scene where it'll just stand on, it'll just stay on the contractor, like, oh, he's just like, you can, the shot is trying to convey he's helpless and all that. But the
Hmm.
problem is, until then, all you've done is show us that he's a scammer.
Yeah.
So
So suddenly
I'm
there
like,
you
yeah. So you're saying,
suddenly you're not going to sympathize with him.
no, because that's my
You're like,
point.
we knew he was going to do this, and even if he turned out to be a nice guy, I'm still now, I'm
You've
still not
scammed
on
enough,
board with him. Yeah,
right? Just because you didn't scam this one time doesn't
yeah,
make the other 8 times right, right? And then they
yeah.
say at the end of the movie, I never scammed, I would just roll things around. You say that now, but like you, you know what I'm
When you're
saying? Like,
caught, you're
okay,
like, അയ്യോ ഞാൻ കട്ടതല്ല ഇത് എടുത്ത് ഇവിടെ വെക്കാൻ നോക്കിയതാ.
yeah, yeah. I thought the Ajurgis and his girl, like Papan and Lizzie, they had more chemistry, and I was more interested in seeing their love story than the main track. And so when they said, "Oh, this is their love story," I was like, "Okay, good. So can we see more?" And then I looked at the runtime. Wait, this is the fucking last episode, and we have like 15 minutes left. And that goes into my last bad, where also the forced song and dance at the wedding again. Please stop. If someone's saying this, if you're an aspiring filmmaker out of the 100 people that's watching this, please don't, like, put songs that don't need to be there. Like, nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see this. Okay, so and the last thing in my bad is, this should have ended when Ajurgis got registered. The show could have ended when Aju Varghese registered married. Like, മറ്റേ ഇതെന്റെ
Oh, yeah.
കഥയാന്ന് പറയില്ലേ.
Yeah.
And then there is also a narration part where he says, oh, അവൻ ഗൗരിയോട് സംസാരിച്ചിട്ട് ഇപ്പം കുറെ നാളായി. And
Mhm.
it can just fade out. It can just be like, you know what, that story was just a catalyst for this story. This is
Yeah,
the main
that's
story.
top there.
They
Yeah.
married, end of this thing, right? But I feel like either some executive at Hotstar or someone said, oh no, we need a happy ending, right? Because it
It's not
felt
a happy
very
ending.
much.
I think it's not a happy ending. Felt more like Neeraj Madhav is like, how can I just leave this here? As a hero, I need to win. Okay, I can't go home and with a, okay.
L.
Yeah, I need to win. So it's like went back
Do you
there
think
and
he has
showed
that
the
much pull?
maybe at this point, because this was made for him. This the series, the first person the director approached was him apparently.
Really?
I mean, the
Okay.
story guy, yeah, yeah, the story guy approached him was him, and they wanted him to do it. They wanted him on
Oh,
board than anyone else. So in an
okay. But
interview,
I
I heard,
actually, I know, you didn't, you weren't like for him. I actually fucked with him in this though. Like I thought he was decent
I
enough.
agree.
Like, and
You
again,
see,
you
his
mentioned
acting,
that
I'm
too.
not blaming. It's just I didn't agree with him in this role. I'm not saying
Oh,
he
okay, okay,
didn't act
okay.
well.
I get what you're saying.
He
Yeah.
acted well. He delivered. It's just I would have been happy seeing anyone else. It's not he's a bad
Mm,
actor. They should replace him. No, him doing this particular role is where I
mm.
didn't like it.
It didn't mesh
I
with
didn't,
you.
it
Yeah.
didn't match. Yeah, it did feel that fitted his. Like, see, would you be okay with a particular thing that what Prithviraj does when Tovino does? Probably you will not be okay with it. Tovino has his set of things
Mm,
that we want to
mm.
see from Tovino, and there are a set of things that you want to see from Prithviraj. Both of them were individually doing their good things, and if
Yeah.
they interacted, they interchanged their roles and performed the movies,
It's like
we
if
might not.
Prithviraj did Tallumala, I wouldn't hit like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't be so happy to see Tallumala and Prithviraj doing whatever
Yeah.
that he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
basically that. Okay, and would Prithviraj have been able to do a good job in terms of acting? Yes, he would have done
Yeah, no,
exceptionally
but
well.
it's the fit, right? It's the fit.
Yeah,
Like, for
yeah.
example, I don't want Tovino as Syed Masood in Lucifer, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
more
you cannot.
believable that he's a sibling and not
Yeah,
the right
yeah.
hand man.
So
Makes
each
sense.
there's
Okay.
always roles that fit the person acting it, not just because he's a good actor. So that's my only problem with it. Not that he was bad. He did a good job. He did a fine job. There is no this thing, but just didn't fit. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right. So,
yeah, and no, that last bit, like you were saying, you didn't finish that about how they just dragged it on unnecessarily to
yes, so did you, that's what I felt too, where when it ended I was like, wait, what's 15 minutes more like remaining to do, right? It feels like this, we can end it here, and then it goes back into him saying, oh, I know you missed his dick, so let's give it another shot, FWP. Like, that's
another
what
thing
I
I
took
didn't
away.
like.
Yeah.
Another thing I didn't like. Up until that point, I was with the girl. By the way,
Mm.
I was like, I was siding with her. The
Yeah.
minute she went soft and she like, "Ah, fine, I'll give him another chance." I didn't
Mm.
like it because he didn't behave right in any sense. And
No.
for her to give a second chance after having gone through whatever she went through, and understanding that his priorities are not going to change, he just said it. She's yet giving him a second chance. I didn't like the fact that she
Dude,
didn't stand her
what's
ground.
it's
She
funny you
so
mentioned
easily
that.
was like, "Oh, really? If you say so, fine." Then she should have done this at that arranged marriage venue itself, not come
Yeah,
do
no,
all this
it
drama and
was
come all the way here.
exactly. And then I thought when he got on the
Sorry,
bus, I
register
was like,
marriage.
ah man,
Yeah.
what was that?
Sorry, I meant the register marriage place. At that
Oh
place, she
yeah,
should
yeah,
have,
yeah.
yeah, gone back and taken her redecisions, but not here in the bus randomly in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I mean, sorry, in the Dubai street randomly he met. How big is this place?
Dude, and then what's funny is how like that whole scene where I know they were going for like romantic vibe and shit, but the RTA like we both driven like that's not the place for it. Like we like in a like a romance in a public bus does not hit the same as KSRTC as in Dubai. Okay, like you can't do that there, and
Yeah,
everybody's just sitting there behind them listening to this conversation because it's not as busy as like in another bus like in India where there's like the road sounds, there's like
minding their
people
own business.
talking, windows are always open, like all that shit, right? Like so in this one they
So
just yeah, and like everybody's just behind them like what the fuck is going on. And it felt like he said it's like ഇപ്പം വീട് കണ്ട നല്ലല്ലേ ബിഗ് വീടല്ലേ, and then she's like big വീടാണല്ലോ, okay,
yeah,
let's give it another like it felt like, oh, now he's not a loser anymore. Okay, and then when he says എനിക്ക് രണ്ട് ജോലി ഇന്ത്യയിൽ കിട്ടി, okay, and then she's like എടുത്തോ, ഇല്ല രണ്ടും എടുത്തില്ല, and then she has this loser like എന്നിട്ട് വന്നേക്കുന്ന വിസിറ്റ് വിസയിൽ ഇവിടെ ജോലി തണ്ടാൻ ദുബായില്. And then when he says എനിക്ക് ദുബായിൽ ഒരു ജോലി കിട്ടി അത് എടുക്കണോന്ന്, if you're okay, and I'm like, why would you ask her permission? Does she own Dubai? Like he can't come and work in a place. Like he has to leave the country because they had sex. Like it's so
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah, and then so that's why I felt it was forced because again, I didn't I didn't feel any sort of like sadness. I was like, yeah, you guys. It felt like you were in like a
Good.
FWB that just
Yeah.
happened to be like it's what the kids these days call situationship, right? They wanted PR.
Yeah.
They were
Mhm.
together and they were like, oh, we should do that because you lost your job. Let's just go get married and then yeah, we'll go to Canada. So
Mhm.
it's yeah, that didn't. I wish maybe they reveal the Ajuvargi's like the plot twist in like episode 5 or
There's no
something.
person at some point.
Yeah, so we could like go into it. Yeah, so anyway, those are my cons, and this is the part where we go into our reviews. So Austin, what's your rating for this show?
My rating for the show would be a good 2.
Oh, it's a 2. Okay, so it is 2.5 for me. So just like bang up average. Like I would recommend people watch this show. It's not a bad show or anything. It's like a perfect fine. If you don't like if you go into it knowing what it can be and what it is, right? That's pretty much all it is. Like you'll be happy. So 2.5 for me and 2 for Austin, and that is the end of our show, guys. Thanks for watching. As you know, this is the last episode, so like Austin's already like ascending. He's done with this shit. He's like ഒന്ന് നിർത്തിയിട്ട് വേണം എനിക്ക് പോയി കിടന്നൊന്ന് ഉറങ്ങാൻ അവന്റെ എപ്പിസോഡ്. So you know um already message വന്നു തുടങ്ങി. They're
What?
like cancellation ഒന്ന് postpone ചെയ്യുമെന്ന്.
Ginny, I'm really sorry. There's no other alternative to this. Our executive producers, Arun and Austin, they don't want to do this. So we probably you guys you'll have to find another channel to be entertained with. I'm sorry.
First of all, you got her name wrong. It's Ginny Honey D2I. As a loyal fan, I won't get that wrong. And I should tell you, discuss onnuilla. Cancel is cancel. Close it.
Yeah.
We done.
Yeah. This is it. It's goodbye. You should have come back for us when we weren't here.
Yeah.
I know it's
If
not
you
possible,
don't,
but yeah.
yeah, if you don't like me at my 50 views, don't like me at my 102 views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
All right. So, hey, great talking to you guys, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. No more subscribe, write to us, and all of that. It's all.
അല്ല എന്തിനാണ്
We could have done
കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലോ.
it when we had the chance. Yeah.
അതെ അതെ. ഇനി
Right.
നിങ്ങൾ
So
അത്ര
then,
നിർബന്ധിച്ച വേണേ അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച വരുന്നതിനെ പറ്റി ആലോചിക്കാം. ബട്ട് I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
നിർബന്ധിക്കണം. നിർബന്ധിച്ച് നോക്ക്. ചിലപ്പോ ഞങ്ങൾ വന്നാലോ. പക്ഷെ നിർബന്ധിച്ച് നോക്ക്. എന്നാലേ ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ.
അതെ, എന്നെ ഇതുവരെ ആരും ഒന്നും നിർബന്ധിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്കറിയില്ല, ചിലപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ വഴങ്ങിയാലോ. So yeah, take care guys, or whatever, I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah, like
Do what you want.
whatever. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Bye.
ഇനി എങ്ങാനും ആൾക്കാർ വരാണ്ടിരുന്നാലോ, നമ്മുടെ ഈ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സ് അൺസബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്താലോ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും അപ്പോ?
ജിമെയിൽ ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ ലിമിറ്റ് ഉണ്ടോ? ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ ഓൾറെഡി ഒരു 14 ആയി, അതാ ചോദിച്ചേ.
ജിനി ഹണി D2 എന്നുള്ള ഫേക്ക് അക്കൗണ്ട് അത് ഇച്ചിരി അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് വന്നു. നമുക്ക് വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യണമായിരുന്നു.
എടാ ഞാൻ ജിനി ഹണിന്ന് മാത്രം വെച്ചതാ. അപ്പത്തേക്ക് അവരാ പറഞ്ഞത് യൂസർ നെയിം എക്സിസ്റ്റ് ആൽഫ ന്യൂമറിക് ആക്കണമെന്ന്. അപ്പത്തേക്ക് പടപടപടാന്ന് എന്തോ അടിച്ചപ്പോ D2 അങ്ങ് വന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഒട്ടും ബിലീവബിൾ അല്ല അല്ലേ? നമ്മളാന്ന് തന്നെ അവര് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാലോ.
മനസ്സിലായി. ഒരു 5-6 അക്കൗണ്ട് കൂടി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് കുറച്ച് കമന്റ്സ് കൂടി ഇടണം. ലൈക്ക് നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഇട്ട വീഡിയോന്റെ അടിയിൽ വി വോണ്ട് മോർ ഓങ്കോർ എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും സംഭവം ചെയ്യണം.
എടാ ആകെ കാണുന്നത് 10-50 പേരാണ്. ഈ പൊട്ടന്മാരൊന്നും ഒരിക്കലും കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല നമുക്ക് വീണ്ടും വരാൻ പ്ലാൻ ഇല്ലാന്ന്. നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഇമോഷണൽ ബ്ലാക്ക്മെയിലിൽ ഇവര് വീണ് ഈ പൊട്ടന്മാരെ നമ്മള് എന്താ എന്താ
റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടായി.
അത് കുഴപ്പമില്ല, ഞാൻ പോസ്റ്റിൽ കട്ട് ചെയ്തോളാം. They won't see this.
കുഴപ്പമില്ല.